Picture this. It's a Tuesday afternoon, nothing unusual about it. You're wrapping up some work, maybe checking your emails, when suddenly your phone rings.
You glance at the display. It's your son. Your heart does that little thing it always does when one of your kids calls unexpectedly during the day. You pick up immediately. And then you hear his voice. But something's wrong. It's trembling, panicked in a way you've never heard before.
Dad, I've been in an accident. I'm okay, but there's been some trouble. I need bail money, and I need it now. Please, I can't explain everything, but you have to help me.
Your pulse quickens. Every parental instinct fires at once. Your hand is already reaching for your wallet.
But here's the terrifying truth. Your son is completely safe. He's sitting in his calculus class right now, probably bored, certainly not in any trouble. That voice you just heard? It was manufactured, cloned, created by artificial intelligence in under 3 seconds from a few clips scraped from his social media profiles.
Welcome to 2026, where phishing hasn't just evolved, it's become devastatingly personal.
This isn't science fiction. This isn't some distant threat we need to worry about in 10 years. This is happening right now to real people every single day, and the numbers are staggering. According to recent reports, voice cloning scams have increased by over 700% in the past 2 years alone. The average victim loses nearly $10,000. But some people, particularly elderly victims who believe they're helping their grandchildren, have lost their entire life savings. So, how did we arrive at this point? Let's take a step back.
Scams used to be remarkably clumsy. Remember those emails from the Nigerian prince who needed your help transferring millions of dollars? The spelling errors, the broken grammar, the obviously fake urgency? We learned to laugh at those. We trained ourselves to spot the red flags. We felt safe. But what we're facing now isn't a clumsy email from a stranger. These are sophisticated psychological operations designed by people who understand exactly how your brain works. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Your brain is actually working against you in these situations. Humans are hardwired to recognize patterns. It's how we survived as a species. When you hear your child's voice, your brain instantly matches it against thousands of stored memories. The pitch, the rhythm, those little vocal quirks that make them uniquely them. When that voice pattern matches, something profound happens in your neurology. Your analytical thinking, the part of your brain that asks questions, that looks for inconsistencies, that pumps the brakes, that part essentially shuts down. Instead, your limbic system takes over. That's the ancient part of your brain responsible for emotional responses and survival instincts. When someone you love sounds like they're in danger, panic floods your system. And panic doesn't reason. Panic acts. The scammers know this. They're counting on it. They've weaponized the deepest human instinct we have, the desire to protect the people we love. So, how does this technology actually work, and why is it suddenly so accessible? It starts innocently enough. Your teenager posts a video on TikTok, your daughter shares voice notes on Instagram, your partner sends a video message in a family WhatsApp group. Each of these creates a digital voice print. And here's the unsettling part. A scammer only needs about 10 seconds of clear audio to clone a voice with startling accuracy. 10 seconds. Think about how much audio of you exists online. How many videos, voice messages, recorded presentations, or social media stories you've shared over the years. The AI learns everything from that short clip. Your pitch, whether your voice is naturally high or low, your tempo, how fast or slow you speak, your accent and regional patterns, even your breathing patterns and the tiny pauses between words that make your speech uniquely yours.
This is powered by something called GANs, Generative Adversarial Networks. Now, don't let the technical term intimidate you. The concept is actually quite elegant, if deeply concerning. Here's how it works. Imagine two artificial intelligence systems locked in a competition. One AI, called the generator, tries to create fake audio that sounds like you. The other AI, called the discriminator, tries to detect whether audio is real or fake. They train each other in an endless cycle. The generator creates a sample. The discriminator says, "Nope, that's fake. I can tell because of these specific issues." The generator adjusts and tries again. The discriminator gets better at detection. The generator gets better at creation. Round and round they go, millions of times, until the generator produces audio that even the discriminator, which has analyzed every tiny detail of real human speech, cannot distinguish from reality. And once that threshold is crossed, neither can you. These systems are now so advanced that they can capture emotional states. They can make you sound stressed, happy, crying, or panicked on command. They can adjust for background noise, making it sound like you are calling from a police station, a hospital, or a busy street. The technology that was science fiction 5 years ago now runs on a smartphone. Let me share a real case that happened just last month. I've changed the names, but everything else is exactly as it occurred. Jennifer, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio, received a call from her grandson. She heard him crying, explaining he'd been in a car accident while on vacation in Mexico. Someone had been hurt, he was being held, and he needed $15,000 for bail and legal fees. The voice was perfect. She recognized the slight lisp he'd had since childhood. She heard the way he always said "grandma" with that particular emphasis on the second syllable. But here's what made it truly convincing. The scammer had done their homework. They knew he was actually traveling. They knew he was in Mexico. They'd pulled this information from geotagged photos he'd posted on Instagram just hours earlier. Jennifer went to her bank, withdrew the money, and sent it via cryptocurrency, exactly as her grandson had instructed. She even kept the call secret because he'd begged her not to tell his parents, who would be so disappointed in him. It wasn't until her actual grandson called her that evening, safe, uninjured, and confused about why she sounded so emotional, that Jennifer realized what had happened. The money was gone, untraceable, unrecoverable. And Jennifer told investigators that the worst part wasn't even losing the money. It was the feeling of betrayal, the knowledge that someone had used her love for her grandson as a weapon against her. This is happening to thousands of people every single day. And it's not just targeting the elderly or the technologically unsophisticated. Highly educated people, tech workers, even cybersecurity professionals have fallen for these scams, because when emotion takes over, expertise becomes irrelevant. So what do we do? How do we fight back against technology this sophisticated? The good news is that while the technology is complex, the defense strategy is surprisingly simple. It just requires preparation and discipline. First, establish a family password. This is a secret word or phrase known only to your immediate family or inner circle. Choose something memorable, but not something that could be guessed or found online. Not a pet's name, not a birthday, not something from your social media. Make it random. Make it unique. Purple Elephant 17. Or Grandma's Antique Telescope, or something equally specific to your family, but meaningless to anyone else. Then make a rule. Any emergency request for money, any unusual situation, must include this password. No password, no matter how convincing the voice, means no action until verification. Teach your kids this system. Make sure your parents know it. Brief your siblings. This one simple safeguard can stop these scams cold, because no matter how perfect the voice clone is, the AI cannot know your secret family password. Second, the 10-second rule. This is about buying time for your rational brain to catch up with your emotional response. When you receive an urgent call requesting money, action, or sensitive information, do this. Take a breath. Count to 10. Then end the call. Yes, even if the person is begging you not to hang up, especially if they're begging you not to hang up, because that pressure is a classic manipulation tactic. After you hang up, call the person back using a number you already have saved in your phone, not a number they just gave you, not a number from caller ID, which can be spoofed. Use the contact information you know is legitimate. If the person is really in trouble, they'll still be in trouble 60 seconds from now. But those 60 seconds give your frontal cortex time to re-engage. They give you time to think instead of react. Third, limit your digital voice print. Review your privacy settings on social media. Consider who can see and download videos where you speak. Think before posting voice notes or video messages publicly. This isn't about living in fear or disconnecting from technology. It's about being strategic with your digital presence. You wouldn't leave your house keys on your front lawn. Your voice is equally valuable and equally worth protecting. Fourth, spread awareness. Here's something that might surprise you. When these scams succeed, victims often don't report them. They feel embarrassed. They feel foolish for falling for it. But there's no shame in being targeted by sophisticated psychological manipulation. The shame belongs to the criminals who exploit human love and trust. Talk to your family about this threat. Share information with your parents, who might be particularly vulnerable. Discuss it with your kids, who might not realize their social media presence could be used to target you. Knowledge is the best defense we have. Let me be clear about something. Technology isn't slowing down. AI capabilities are accelerating at a pace that most people find difficult to comprehend. By this time next year, these voice clones will be even more sophisticated. They'll handle longer conversations. They'll respond to questions in real time. They'll be indistinguishable from actual human interaction in every measurable way. We cannot stop this technological evolution, but we can adapt our behavior to meet it. And that means getting smarter, getting prepared, and getting informed, starting right now. If you found this information valuable, do two things. First, share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Your parents, your siblings, your friends. It genuinely might save them from devastating financial loss or emotional trauma. Second, subscribe to this channel. In our next video, we're going to examine something equally concerning, which free AI applications are actually harvesting your personal data and feeding your identity directly to hackers. The apps you have on your phone right now might be putting you at risk, and you deserve to know which ones. The future is here, and it's more complex than we ever imagined. But together, we can navigate it safely. Stay informed. Stay skeptical. Stay protected. And most importantly, stay human.